You know the West Coast, West Coast, West Coast. You know the West Coast is back. You know the West Coast, West Coast, West Coast. You know the West Coast, West Coast, West Coast. You know the West Coast, West Coast, West Coast.
What is going on, guys? We are about to break down another League of Legends slate. I can't wait because last night, easiest slate to play. Easiest slate. I mean, if you guys took the video advice, you guys probably cashed out. Hold on, guys. Getting back to my screen here. Computer's freezing up on me. Alright, so, yeah, last night, if you guys took the video advice, we cashed out pretty easily. I mean, if you stack the heavy favorite, the heaviest favorite, let me go back and just go back to my lineup and I'll tell you guys what I did. And honestly, the strategy is not going to change from League of Legends slate to League of Legends slate. It's going to be the same kind of thing for double ups. IG, if you stacked IG, I had the Shy and the captain spot. I had Rookie, Puff, Southwind all in there. And there was a team that got upset. I forget who it was. It was TES. I forget the full name of that team. But they got upset, and if you stacked them, you did not do well. But with IG, you did. And guys, League of Legends slates are so straightforward. If you know what you're doing, it's the easiest money to make. Because for double ups, what you do is you just simply stack the favorites. The most underpriced favorites on the slate. Okay, and we don't really know much about the Brazilian League in general. So this is going to be even more fun to break down. So I have already broken down everybody's average stats here. So hold on, not that. I have broken down every Brazilian person's average stats based on Vegas odds. I calculated the value for these guys. We don't really know too much about these guys, so I did the work for you. And I'm going to give you my favorite plays. All right? All right, so let me go through some questions real quick because there are some baseline questions that we need to know before diving into the slate. All right. What side is this played on? This is played on DraftKings. Okay. And yes, we'll take a look at Bovada and we'll go through all the Vegas odds. All right. Solid music. Thank you. Yes, the CBL or CBLOL slate, I guess that's what we'll call it, is very hard to research because there's not that much information, but I do have all of the stats in front of me now. I pulled it all together. What has this world come to? I'm telling you right now, I played League of Legends slates while the NBA season was going on, and I've had more success with the League of Legends slate. So again, if you guys are looking to make money, then stay tuned. Let's see. No more questions. How do we know which players are actually going to play? Third-time player has great lineup, but has played 2 games, didn't play. Is there a lineup posted somewhere? So one of my guys in the Discord chat posted all the starting lineups. Shout out to him. Honestly, I put together what you guys need to do is go with the higher expensive player if you are between 2 players from the same team, because usually that player is overpriced because he's starting. Usually. Okay, I know there's a couple players, but we have a pretty good idea of who's going to start today. Vegas kills deaths are not out for Brazilian League. I can keep refreshing the page, and that's the one thing it's not out. So what we're going to assume is 21 is the average kills produced in each contest. We're going to base it off of that, and then go on a percentage based on the percentage chance to win. Okay, so that's how I calculated my Vegas projected odds. Yes, there's a lot of calculations that go into this. All right, had lunch with my girlfriend and still watching the stream. That's awesome. So this slate's very somewhat straightforward just because there's an underpriced. There's a couple underpriced teams actually. So I'm gonna pull up the odds here. I don't even know how to pronounce these names, but we're gonna go through them. Fura Uppercut, I think that's how you pronounce it. Underdog to Keyed Stars, minus 220 is pretty good odds. Pain Gaming, a higher favorite here against Kaboom. I want to say Kaboom because that's how it's spelled. They are a favorite versus Kaboom. Redemption and Flamengo. So Flamengo Esports is the best favorite on the slate, minus 450. So they're probably going to be your most sure bet. Pro Gaming Esports, minus 215 against its Esports. Okay, so what you'll notice here is the spreads for this game, if you guys can see my mouse, this game are relatively the same. There's not going to be too much difference here, but the one team that stands out to me is Flamengo Esports, minus 150 or 450. They are going to be your sure bet or your most sure bet for where to choose, where to start. Okay, Vegas is usually on point with these. Okay. You can trust them for picking your players. And what I've done when I've dug into these statistics is I've noticed that Flamengo, actually, their players stand out to me the most anyway. So what I did is I broke down every single player's stats and I condensed it into a value. And obviously, if we look here on Roto, we're going to go position by position, and I'm going to show you who's my favorite play. So, Woofy from Flamengo is going to be your best value. And guys, you'll notice that Flamengo is going to pop in every single category. Okay. So stack the minus 450 team easy. Yes. Generally, that's what you do. You can try to get away. And this is for double ups. Okay. For double ups, you're going to generally stack the heavy favorites in esports. Okay. Even if that means getting the support into the captain position. So we look here. Wolfie's going to be the best point per dollar value at the top position. Robo is going to follow from Pain Gaming. So that's going to come from your minus 265. And that makes sense, okay? I mean, obviously, if they're projected to win, they're projected to get more kills. F&B is going to be overpriced, is going to be more of a GPP option. Okay? Same thing can be said with Yang. you generally don't want to take any one of these bottom 4 guys in cash, okay? Because you don't take underdogs when you're playing cash games. All right, go over to the jungler position. So for jungler, like I said, Flamengo sticks out the most here. Ranger, 4.8. Grell, next on the list. Sting, you guys kind of get what I'm kind of putting out here. Flamengo is going to be the team to stack today, okay? So take 4 guys from that team and obviously fill in the other positions with other favorites. Who's the best player to pick at the captain spot? We will go over that in just a second, guys. Going over to mid. So with the mid position, this is the first player that doesn't stick out that's on Flamengo, okay? And just because he's cheap. So a 7K price tag for Nosferus. I think that's how you pronounce it, Nosferus. Okay, it's 7K. Comes out to a 4.3 point per dollar value here on our sheet. So the only reason I'm not too high on this mid game for Flamengo is because the jungler is so dominant and so is the ADC. So Nosferus at 7K is the best point per dollar value. And again, he's still a favorite from Pain Gaming. Goku is next. Alone is next. And again, a favorite. And then we get down to these not so heavy favorites. I think there's a pretty standout spot here for the mid position. Nosferus, Goku, and Alone are going to stick out the most. If you're looking for ownership, Goku's still going to be the highest owned, followed by Nosferus. Yep, and I completely agree with you. I think this is best of one. So stacking a support in the captain position. I actually don't have a captain or I don't have a support as my captain in my main cash line, but that's only because some of these guys are so underpriced. So, but you can go that direction. And again, Absolute stands out the most from Flamengo, is the best point per dollar value here on our sheet. Projected at 36.26. They're projected to get a lot of kills today. Claw's next. Against Pain Gaming does really stick out as far as value, so that's another team to stack if you can possibly get the ADC from VK, so get Claws into your ADC captain position. You might be able to get away with that and maybe stack some of these other guys. Patrick comes on next. But again, Absolute from Flamengo is your best point per dollar value. All right. Last but not least, your support. Lucy is the best point per dollar value here on the entire slate. Okay, so Lucy from Flamengo is going to be the support to play. Obviously, if you're not going to play him in the captain spot, play him in your support position. Lucy has been having a very good recent set of games and projected at 33.94 points. Averages like 12 assists so far, so it's actually pretty crazy. Yeah, Absolute and Ranger both have pro experience. Now you're bringing in some knowledge that I don't know. It's very evident, though. Their stats do stand out a lot. Okay, so if I bring up the sheet here, gonna do a search. Absolute averages 4.5 kills, 8.1 assists, and 2.1 deaths in the time that he's been playing here on the league here. So obviously stands out a lot. Absolute and Ranger. I think Ranger pops out even more. 3.1 kills, 10.5 assists, 2.3 deaths. Again, this is all public information, so you guys can put this together as well. So what I'll do is I'm just going to cut straight to the point. I broke down 150 lineups, and we'll see where the exposures kind of land. This kind of gives me a good idea of what it's gonna look like for GPPs and cash. Just waiting for my computer to load. It has been going very slow this morning. There we go. All right, so 150 lineups. It is so dominated by Flamengo at the top. Absolute, Ranger, Wolfie, Lucy, Goku. Literally every single one of their guys are at the top. Only problem is you can only stack 4 of these guys. So if I had to recommend 4 guys, Absolute, Ranger, Wolf, Lucy. Those are going to be my guys to stack from Flamengo. Come back with Pain Gaming. Or not Pain. Come back with VK. VK has some guys here. Robo and Nosferus are going to be decently owned and in good spots as well. So my highest owned captain is going to be Lucy. So as you guys said, in the captain position for support is Lucy. Any recommendations on what contest center? There's a lot of overlay in esports. So what I do recommend is wait till the last second to enter all your contests. If you are throwing just a small amount of money, again, you might be able to get lucky and get into some overlay. So double ups, obviously for cash and GPPs. I'm going to be doing some MME. So I'm going to be entering a lot of money into these GPP contests. But yeah, so now I want to talk more about GPP. So if we go here and we start constructing a lineup, one thing you guys need to take away from this is generally when you put a support into the captain position, whatever lineup you construct probably isn't going to have really, really high upside. The best upside is predicting which one of these closer upsets are going to happen. So like taking a guy like an ADC from Kabum, putting him into your captain, hoping that they win, stacking that team, and then coming back with Flamingo as your fillers. All right, so that is going to produce the best upside. I'm not saying stack that team. I'm saying stack a team like that. That's going to be very low owned. The ADC obviously has the highest upside, coming back and putting another ADC from Flamingo. And then you're working with two ADCs, have plenty of upside. If they win, it's going to be a good payout. So coming back also with somebody like Keed, Faria. I mean, playing some of these lower owned guys as your ADC in your captain spot, coming back with fillers, obviously with Flamingo or another favorite. That's going to produce the highest upside, and that's how you play GPPs. I'm going to be MMAing different GPP lineups, and that's how you produce upside. I think INTZ wins. So that might be a good team to stack because obviously this is the closest in the spread as far as Vegas goes. So if you stack INTZ Esports here and then come back with filling your Flamingo, that obviously would produce a lot of upside. So for instance, let's go ahead and just build. I'm just going to build the GPP lineup right now using INTZ. So Makayo, I think that's how you pronounce it. They're also very cheap. So let's say I put him in the captain spot. All right. Let's put him there. Let's go ahead and put some. And again, you're kind of banking on these guys not only winning, but producing a lot of kills. So you're going to have to make some risky moves if you're playing GPP. So like I might go with their jungler because obviously he produces a lot. Right here. I don't think he's playing actually. Hold on. It's Shinny or Shinny. Again, I'm making a GPP lineup right now. TZ Tay. Coming back with absolute support Lucy. And then I have way too much for team. But again, so don't be afraid to leave money on the table when constructing lineups because, again, it's just so volatile with the kills. You never know who's going to produce the most amount of kills. Like one of these games could go to 60 minutes, and that obviously would produce an extreme amount of kills. So this could be a good GPP lineup. Stacking ITZ, coming back with Flamingo. So I'm thinking Ranger Absolute in my captain spot. I think you're right on with that. So no, I'll let you guys know who my captain is right now just because I was able to get in some heavy favorites. I have Ranger in my captain spot. And I think someone mentioned in the Discord that junglers in this Brazilian league do produce more or just a higher statistically an amount of kills than normal leagues like your European league, your Korean league. They actually produce more here in the Brazilian league. So Ranger, and statistically it makes sense. Statistically that is true. Ranger does produce fairly well for them. So he's my captain. I have him as my captain right now in my cash lineup. Is 2K too much to leave? Not for GPP. For cash, I would say probably because you're probably constructing your lineup not correctly. Best plays for cash. You guys are looking. When you're looking at league teams, I'm not looking at individual players. Okay, I'm looking at teams to stack. Okay, the best team to stack for cash is Flamengo. They're all going to be very high owned. Same thing with VK. Yeah. So VK is keyed stars, okay? That is what their name is. They're all undervalued in general, but they're still decent favorites at minus 225. Okay. Who's your favorite team to put in your team spot? As long as you pick a favorite and somebody that's going to win, it doesn't matter. Okay? So right now, like, I would be okay with you putting in Keyed, Pro Gaming, and Flamengo if you can. But again, most of your guys are going to be Flamengo, so you might not be able to do that. Pain Gaming is good to stack in there. The one thing with team is it's not really going to impact your overall performance. Like if you stack, as long as you're stacking guys that are going to produce a lot, your team doesn't really matter even if they drop a dud, because you're producing so much more from your team players. Like you're a guy that gets a lot of kills on your team for like ADC could produce 40 to 50 points. He could. Whereas your team, their upside's capped at like 25, 27. I don't think I've ever scored more than 27 points at my team position, regardless of how well they did. There's only a certain amount of things you can do as a team. All right. GPP strategy. So what you're going to do is you're going to play your single entry GPP similar to cash. Obviously not too risky, but enough to have some upside, right? So like I said, if you're going to be putting all your eggs into the basket of Flamengo, might as well just do that in single entry GPP. Obviously you want some upside, so just try to get a skilled player into that position and obviously fill in with some more favorites. If you want to be risky in single entry, sure, but again, you got to think that a lot of these guys are going to be playing a cash type strategy to do that. Is Wolf a bad captain, or is that destroying the lineup? It depends on what contest you're talking about. For double ups, absolutely not. Again, you're trying to get as much favorites into your lineup overall. Again, this lineup that I made is actually probably not going to be a good lineup. Like, as long as you're taking favorites, you should be fine. And guys, I'm going to get off in about 7 minutes. I just want to pop on here and give you guys a general strategy. So again, stack Flamengo, come back with other favorites. You cannot go wrong. I posted on my video last night to stack IG. Obviously, if you did that, they almost got upset, but they paid off. It actually ended up being really good for them because they were able to get more kills since they were struggling. What support other than Lucy? I believe it's going to come from Keyed Gaming. Keyed Stars, sorry. I'm not going to be able to pronounce any of these teams. So Professor. Let me go back to support and see what my favorite ones are. Yeah, Professor. Professor's going to be my other favorite support. But Lucy has been, like I said, Lucy statistically is just so far out in front. Professor's not too far behind for the point per dollar value, but again, Lucy is the best. Why do you like Ranger so much? Because he produces well. Statistically, he does. And again, Flamengo are heavy favorites. I like anybody on Flamengo. Yeah, I noticed that they put a FanDuel debate contest on they put a FanDuel contest out there for the debate, and it's actually pretty funny, and it's going to be funny how many people are going to tune into the debate because of DFS. I think that you're going to see DraftKings and FanDuel start to open up more contests like this just on crazy sports in general and crazy concepts. Obviously, I mean, as a company, this isn't ideal for them either. They're struggling. They're not struggling, but they're taking the big hit just like the rest of the economy, so they're going to do whatever they can to innovate and keep people interested. I think it's a good idea. I put in a free, I mean, it's free, and obviously I'm going to put in a free contest, so I did it, and it's just going to be funny because I'm actually going to tune into debate. I was going to watch it anyway, but now it's just funny to watch me root on a debate based on the amount of different words somebody says. It's going to be funny. It brings another level of attention to it. It's just funny. Wolf has been amazing as of late. Yes, I like Wolf. Best player, ADC 6400. So again, guys, you were looking for stacking. If this is GPP, you are stacking teams. You are not looking at individual players like NBA. This doesn't make sense. 6400, like I said, Makeo, I think it's how you pronounce it. I mean, that's the only one. Obviously, you only have two options. ITZ a favorite? No, they are not a favorite. So ITZ is plus 155. However, they're going to be GPP viable. That spread's not too bad. So Lucy or JoJo? Lucy. They put DK debate as well. I did not see that. That must have been the new edition this morning. All right, guys. Fire away any questions. Again, I'm going to leave in about 4 minutes to put together all my GPP lines. This is going to take some time. I basically, like, this Roto Grinders headquarters is just so, it's in the beta stage for this, and they just put up average fantasy points, and that's not productive. So I went through and I put in my own values, and I calculated a whole bunch of things. I put in different player groups, so each team here has a different player group, so it basically forces it to stack these guys. I have to still mess with it a little bit because it was giving me some errors, but I went through that, guys. I've been spending about 2-3 hours doing this. So again, hopefully this pays off for you guys. Yeah, again, all of these guys in these games are going to be low owned. Like Pro Gaming Esports is going to be low owned if you want to stack them, but they're still a favorite. It could pay off. That might be a good strategy. Stack Pain Gaming and Keat Stars for sure. Favorite GPP team to stack? I just said it actually. Pro Gaming would probably be low ownership with some upside. I like them a lot. I wish I could pinpoint a good ownership percentage for you guys, but obviously there's not enough information. There's barely any information out there for esports in general. Best team play Flamengo. Are the lineups out? No, but again, we have a rough overview of who's going to play. I went with the more expensive guys, and that actually bodes well for the lineups that were sent to me. That was actually the exact same starting lineup. So if you guys go with the more expensive guy, if you're picking between two guys and you're confused, and if they don't start, go with the higher, the more expensive player. Okay. Where do you get projections from? I got them from I'll give you the exact page in just a second. Gamepedia.com. This gives the first split. I think technically they're in their second split now. So, no, I actually don't think that was a website. Hold on. But that is a good source for other esports. I think it was this one here. Yes, this site. Games of Legends Esports. Search that in Google. All right, so far my lineup is Captain, Ranger, Wolf. Hold on, I'm going to compare this to my lineup. Wolf, Absolute, Lucy, and PRG as team, who are 2 spots left for 6,300, jungle, mid. I said that Nosferus is a really good value. And you said jungler, right? Jungler, mid, and Grill. Those are my favorites to plug in there. So no, I may or may not be reading off my double up lineup. Why isn't Bovada showing totals? My guess is that there's not enough information on this for them to put out totals. I don't know. But again, if you just go off odds, you should be pretty safe. Like, Flamengo should be putting up a good amount of kills today. Is JoJo playing? JoJo is in what spot? Is that the top spot? I don't have too much JoJo. Hold on. That's support. No. So the support that is playing is Lucy. At least that's what's been happening. And they are listed the starter. All right, guys. So if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and get off. It is 11:30, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Again, I'm going to be putting out a video for the slate that is at 2 a.m., which is technically tomorrow. So again, look out for that video, guys. Appreciate all the support. If this is your first time to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Again, we're going to keep things going for the sports that we can play in DraftKings and FanDuel. So stay with us, and hopefully you guys can cash out. And with all that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate the support, and let's cash.